Welcome back to the second episode of Word is a Treasure. In the previous episode, the parrot said to Musa, the son of a lion who followed the behavior of the children of the future, refused to follow the words of his predecessors, you see how you ended up. Musa said, son of a lion? What statement did he refuse to follow? Does animals also talk? The parrot said, yes. They do. Let me tell you how they did. The story of the hunter and the baby lion. One day, the wild animals gathered and decided to come with a plan on how hunters are killing them, and to escape from their traps. Everyone was given his ideas but not good enough. Then Fox said, there is nothing to do unless we open a school here. We who have fought with hunters, and understand their schemes, we should be teaching the young ones our tactics. The other animals agreed with this statement. Then the hyena said, well, I will be the teacher. Lion said, well, tell us what kind of strategy do you use to escape from hunters? Then we will see if your methods are useful for others to follow. The hyena said, there is no trick that will separate you from a hunter, unless you open your teeth and bite him. If there is even a small gap, you should run. Then Rabbit said, God, what a stupid idea. If you have the power to escape from the hunters, do we have it? He looked at the lion and said, may God give the king victory. We have only one solution. If everyone digs a hole in the ground, and make 10 doors in the hole, all far apart from each other. You see, if you are cut here, you will emerge to another door. If you are cut again, you will emerge to another door. One buffalo looked at the rabbit, smiled, and said, a boy is always a boy. You are talking about building a tunnel. Where do you see a tunnel that I can enter? The fox said, you can't go in, so what if you meet at the ranch? Or is it because of fear that we'll stop looking for food? The rabbit said, that one is easy. When you meet a hunter, and he asks his dogs to follow you, then you go ahead and run, stir up the dust and go back, find a big ant house and hide behind it, then you will escape from them. This speech of the rabbit made everyone angry. Even the elephant could have stepped on him, without knowing. He looked at him and said, hey you idiot, if you can hide behind an ant house, what about us? It's you that dog's bothered. What can dogs do? Among the things that we can be afraid of don't include dogs. He is our brother. It's greediness that take him to the people, to the point that they humiliate him as if he is not a legitimate animal. Rabbit, you don't know what you're talking off. Everyone kept coming up with their own tricks, to make him the animal's teacher, but when the rest of them hard, what their plan is, it only useful for one who said it. There was no one to be chosen, so the fox jumped and fell in front of the king and said, God protect you from the evil of hunters, it's me that will be given this opportunity, because all the schemes of hunters are unknown to me. The hyena said, you are not asked to speak much, tell us the strategies you are known and we will listen to you, if we'll agree. The fox looked at the lion and said, may God bless you, I know that crying is one of the things that expose us to the hunters, so if I cry in the east, I will run to the west, and if I cry in the west, I will go to the south. I have never stood where I was heard. The lion shook his head and said, there is definitely a trick in this idea, but what if you fall asleep? Or didn't you sleep? You keep running up and down? The fox said, may God give you victory, but I don't sleep except in the middle of dry leaf of a tree. When they step on one of the dry leaf, I feel disgusted and wake up. The lion said, you really have a trick. The hyena said, what if you want drink water, hunters use to hurt us? What if he says that he has a clear strategy of drinking water? The fox said, I don't drink water like you do. When I feel thirsty, I go to the stream, dip my tail in the water, come out and suck it, then go back and dip again. This is how I used to do until I'm satisfied. The kind of drinking water you are doing, I don't put my head down to drink water. Someone come from your back and attack you. Leopard heard this and said, that is not where hunters use to trap us. Except when they put traps. That's the main thing we don't know about. The fox said, what I am careful about is that wherever I see a tree that has fallen, there is no sign of leaves, no sign of roots at its base, so I have to leave the place. I know that trees do not survive unless they have roots and leaves, even when I'm walking. If I see food in a place where it should rarely be found here, I don't eat it, I go around and pass it. The lion and the other animals said, indeed, fox, we believe that you are the teacher of the jungle. They brought their children to school, and the fox taught them all kinds of tricks. Every time when they start lesson on the strategy that they should do to escape from hunters, then the lion's son gets up and says hunters are nothing to me. He does not waste his time to hear about useless turds. When the fox was persuading him to stop and listening, he will said, I just want to test his bones in my hand. I will find him and break his belly, break his bones, eat his flesh, and drink his blood and enjoy. In the morning, when the baby lion was walking, he and the baby camel, they saw a hunter walking with a lot of clothes and ropes. He had left his friends behind. He wanted to hunt fast and go to the market. He was walking and singing his songs, calling out to himself like a madman. Even when the baby camel saw him, it was the same as the description of the hunters that Fox was teaching them. Then he ran, but the baby lion stopped. He was looking at a different creature that he was not used to seeing. When the hunter came closer, the baby lion said to him, Hey, stop. Among the wild animals, who are you? I have never seen you before. You didn't even used to come to say palace? The hunter put down what he was carrying, fell before the baby lion and said, I am the animal servant. That's why you don't see me at the palace. I'm ashamed of myself. Everyone has 4 legs, but I only have 2. Everyone has a tail, but I have no one. Look at your hair, but me, it's like I have come out of fire. The baby lion said, Well, where are you going with those woods? The hunter said, It's the hyena that called me to go and make her a house, because she is afraid of hunters. The baby lion said, For God's sake, where should I go to meet this hunter? I've been looking for him everywhere, I haven't seen him for days and days. The hunter knelt down and said, A time will come you will meet him, it may be today or tomorrow. But he is afraid of meeting with someone like you. Don't stop me, I'm hurrying to go and do the work for the hyena, even not for fear of hunter, the sun is starting to heat. There is nothing better than a house. The baby lion said, Stop and make the house for me first, then you can go and make another one for the hyena. The hunter said, No, sir, I don't have that chance, since I made a promise with the hyena. As long as I finish with her I will come back, then I will do it for you, because that is my only work in this jungle. The baby lion said, Nonsense. Who is hyena, that you say that you have to finish making a house for her, for you to make it for me? He attacked the hunter, and used his fingers and tear his clothes. The hunter looked at his new clothes, and see what the baby lion did, then he got angry. He just told his anger and said, Since that is what you want I will do it for you, you are the son of the king, I will do it for you. The baby lion said, You must. The hunter crouched down and prepared the woods, and made a strong room between some trees. He followed the path and tied it to the trees, then he found a bunch of grass and gathered it. He found a pile and piled it on one side, like a potter's of pot, when he gathered all the trees and tidied it. Then he left a small door that would be enough for the baby lion to enter. When he finished, he knelt before the baby lion and said, Come in and let's see if it will fit you. The baby lion entered the hut. Immediately the hunter put trees, and locked the door, and set the hut on fire. He surrounded the hut with fire. When the smoke suffocated the baby lion he couldn't breathe, so he tried to come out, but he couldn't. When he heard that he can't moving, he shouted and said, Hey the animal servant, this house of yours is too hot, and I can't breathe inside. Open the door and let me out. The hunter said, Hey, what did you say? Say it again, I can't hear you. It's over for you. I am the hunter you are looking for. Before you start taking vows, you should have asked your parents and heard how we are fighting with them. As soon as the baby lion see fire all over the house, he said, I repent, please save me. The hunter said, Oh, I wish you could repent earlier. It is too late for you now. The lion's son devoured in the fire. The hunter took his own path and moved on. The one who despises the words of his elders, and does what he wants, whatever happens to him, he has no one to blame but himself. Musa said, Is like him hearing the call for prayer? The parrot listened and said, It's the call of prayer. Wow, it is almost morning? Musa got up and went into his room. He didn't say anything to the parrot, because he saw that there were no chance for him to go out. All the people were awake. Musa spent the whole day in his room. He did not get out until it was night. He sat down and kept praying for the servants to sleep, but they didn't sleep, until when it's some hours to morning. When he heard that they had fallen asleep, he got up and went to the parrot to ask for permission to go. The parrot said, Sir, who am I to preventing you from what you want? Even though it is what is wanted for all Muslims, then hurry up, you see it's almost morning. Musa turned to leave, then the parrot said, Sir, take a lamp. Yesterday I heard that some thieves were chased away from the chief house. I heard the guards saying that everyone who go out without a lamp at night they should arrest him. Musa said, How is it that I did not hear any sound, and I did not sleep at all? The parrot said, Your mind is not there, you should have laughed. It was a thief that entered Chief's safe house. He spread a blanket and was about to tie up the things he stole. Then another thief comes into the room. He did not know that there is another thief inside. The first thief was thinking that he is coming in as the owner of the house. So he ran to the door. As for the second thief who came now, when he heard that he was coming to where he was, he think he was following him, and he turned his back and started running, like the guards did when they chased thieves from Chief of Staff farm. Musa said, Yesterday there were 2 thefts. They see that the king was not around. The pirates said, No, those were different thieves. Let me tell you what happened.
Thanks for watching this episode. In the next episode you will hear the story that the parrot told Musa. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video for more amazing stories.